Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is a chilly, windy day, so I'm back in the truck. Was planning on doing a video outside, and well, the wind is just so much that even with the pretty good quality microphone I have to use when it's windy, it's just too much wind noise. Things are heating up dramatically in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. I reported on that a little bit this morning. Things are continuing to go south in that stuff, right? Israeli Air Force has said that they are on the highest level of alert right now. They are recalling lots and lots of reservists. Russia ministry has said that they are deploying Russian troops into Syrian-controlled Golan Heights. And things are just looking pretty nasty. The CIA says they have intelligence that Iran is going to strike Israel inside of Israel. Israel says that they think that it's probably just going to be some proxies of Iran that's going to do this dirty job. But if Iran itself does something, then it will bring a whole new meaning to the conflict. This is drawing a lot of attention. Is this the big one? Is this the one that's going to be the end-all, be-all? I don't know. Or is it could just be a distraction? I mean, there's actually talks in the Ukrainian-Russian thing that both sides are now willing to sit down to the negotiation table and talk. So is that thing kind of wrapping up there so that Iran and Israel and Russia and China and the United States can all get involved in a big global war in the Middle East? Who knows? I mean, the world is ripe for it right now, especially when you look at things economically. The bankers, the globalists would love a big world war because there's well over $200 trillion in global debt, 35 trillion of it's just here in the United States. And it's only going to get worse. If you look at the spending bills that's being proposed, the amount of debt that we're going into, you know, $1 trillion a quarter now, $1 trillion a quarter is what we're going into debt, which is just making our dollar weaker and weaker. I mean, the last 5 days, the closing market on gold has set record highs for 5 days straight. Silver is in very high territory, which is unusual. That's the one they really try to hold back. The COMEX tries to do a good job of keeping it below $25 an ounce, and it's gone above that quite a bit. A lot of things are happening. We got an election coming up. We got this eclipse that everyone's panicking over. I mean, is the Israeli-Iran thing, is it another distraction? Or is it the big deal? It's probably a good question, but I don't think any of us really have the answer. It looks on the surface like it's serious, but so do other things. You know, we've had some weird weather lately. Not just here where I'm at, but all over. Have you seen the reports of the radar outages the other night? And if you look at it, there's all kinds of weird anomalies on the radar. If you look at that storm that, well, it's still going on, I believe, over in the eastern part of the United States. I think North Carolina, places like that may be getting it right now, or it may have moved further east. But if you look at some of the radar on it, kind of some weird things. Looks like lasers are being shot at. Looks like just weird little, I don't even know how to, look like ghost image, not ghost like as a spirit, but like, you know, ghost radar images all over the planet. A lot of people are thinking that maybe that's a weather manipulation that we're seeing. It's interesting that its storm is also tracking the exact route as the eclipse that's supposed to happen next week. Which is the exact route that the last really big storm that went across the United States went. So we've got two big storms back to back, dumping tornadoes and winds and lots of lightning. Both of these storms, this one and the one a couple of weeks ago, had a lot of lightning in them. And then we've got this eclipse happening. It's all weird, isn't it? It's all a strange little coinky-dink. Same thing with that earthquake over in Taiwan. There's now certain people that believe that China has caused at least 2 earthquakes in Taiwan in the last couple of years, because it's believed that China does have that type of technology. They have ships that can direct energy down on fault lines and cause earthquakes. Makes you wonder, with all of this tensions between us and China and Russia and stuff. And then if you look over the past year or two, strange storms, earthquakes, lightning storms, hurricanes, massive rainfalls, droughts, all kinds of strange happenings in those places. It makes you wonder, fires, random fires, how many of those fires are like Maui, that it's probably not just a natural occurrence. Which is why I have said all along that we have been at war for a while. It's a dark war. It's a war that's off the books. It's a war behind the scenes, but it's happening. And I guess the question is, are we going to see this war move to the forefront? Meaning that is it going to come out in the light to where it becomes a conventional war? It's quite possible with that. I mean, you look at all these countries that are recruiting lots of people. Russia has said that they've signed up at least 100,000 new people to join the military just since the first of this year. Ukraine has been literally dragging people off the streets and forcing them to join the military. And just yesterday, Zelensky dropped the military age, or the age to draft people, down to 25. It was at 27, so he dropped it a couple of years. And then yesterday also, the United States announced that they're going to start recalling all of their retired veterans, all the grandma and grandpas, basically. What does all this mean? Is it just because everybody's on the internet now and everything gets reported a lot faster and spread much further? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, was the same sort of stuff happening, and just most people didn't know about it, and it didn't trend because there was no social media really for it to trend? I don't know. It does look like, it has the appearance, most certainly, that things are increasing, that things are getting crazy. But we also live in such a new age, and I don't mean that like the new age spiritual type stuff. I just mean that everything's really new. I mean, when you really think about it, the internet, social media, all of that kind of stuff is relatively new, and we have very little history to compare it to. My gut tells me, though, that we're in that time period. We're in that time period of chaos. We're in that time period of a lot of bad things happening, so that it will lead us to the point of the globalists, the Antichrist, and eventually the Messiah returning and becoming champion of it all. But I can't put my finger on it and prove it and show you the exact everything to convince everyone. A lot of it's just gut feelings. And I know that most of you have the same. And so for those of you that have the ear to hear, you need to be pushing yourself. This whole Israel-Iran thing alone, if that pops off with the red heifer stuff going on, Passover coming up soon, those are all significant things that are going on in that region. And if a war happens with Russia and China and Iran against Israel, that could be very biblical, folks, if you don't know. Extremely biblical. Because there's a lot of other people that would probably side with those against Israel, and maybe even everybody, like in the Bible it's told that the whole world turns against Israel. And so when you look at those things, it's kind of hard to not see end time prophecies kind of being fulfilled. You and I need to be prepared for that. Yeshua, Jesus told us that we have to endure to the end. And endurance is not hiding yourself into the ground and sticking your head in the sand. It's getting ready. It's, of course, spiritually ready for all of this stuff, but also physically ready. It's like the talents that you can either go hide the talent, you can spend the talent, or you can invest it. You know, it's like the bridesmaids with the oil. You can either, you know, fill your lamps full or not. It's like Joseph with the grain in Egypt. You know, you can plan ahead and you can store away for bad times, or you can just live your life as normal. I think most of you choose to get yourselves prepared, to invest your time now into getting ready, getting your skills ready, getting yourself mentally ready. Invest your money into getting things ready, stocking up on the things that you need, being aware of what's going on and keeping your head on a swivel, right? Being aware of just you're just, you know, awareness around you, not just physically where you're at, but around you in the world, right? Being aware of what's going on and kind of getting an idea of where we're headed. No, we don't want to become so emotionally involved that we lose that discernment, right? So you don't want to panic, you don't want to live in fear, but you want to be aware of what's going on. And so we need to be doing that right now. I've said this many times before, but it's nothing wrong with doing it. You need to be stocking up, topping things off, keeping your gas tanks full, keeping your water tanks or water bottles or whatever it is. Make sure your batteries are all topped off. Things are functioning, firearms and tools and things that you might need in an emergency. Medicines, medical, all that kind of stuff. Go through it over the next few days and see if there's things that you need to top off on. Kind of clean it up, get it ready. You may need to use it soon when you see all the things that are happening. Who knows? Because if things do pop off between Israel and Iran, the ramifications will be felt globally. The protests most likely that will happen here in the United States could be big. And all of this, and with what's going on in Gaza and the red heifer, if Israel makes a move on the Temple Mount and the dome there, definitely could cause things to kind of spiral globally. So you need to be ready for that kind of stuff. It's just common sense. You need to be getting your houses in order. It's not just a annoying thing that I say every day. It's true. We need to be doing it. You know, building your family strength, not just in a physical way, but bringing your family together. You know, if you have problems in your home, you should be working really hard right now to fix those problems. Because when all things start falling apart and things become more stressful and there's more fear and all these other things, maybe the next pandemic, the bird flu that's floating around in Ohio and Texas and stuff, all of that's going to put a great strain on your home. And if your family situation isn't the best right now, it may not stand. So when I say get your house in order, that's part of it. You know, work on your family relationships, you and your spouse. Make sure you're tight. Make sure you're good, because you're going to need that partner in life, because things are about to get crazy, it seems, and we need to be ready for it. Get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.